If I'm going to get bad news, I want it from him because he's very handsome. Dr. Irwin Redlenner joins us now. MSNBC medical expert. Dr. Irwin Redlenner.
Here he became Dr. Doom.
Dr. Irwin Redlenner is the founding director of the National Center for Disaster Preparedness and senior research scholar.
Dr. Doom.
Oh, hi, handsome doctor. Hello. Good morning.
Hello, beautiful radio hostess.
Oh, isn't that
with
cute?
the mostesses, whatever. Yeah, but hi, Steph. Yeah. What a week.
You just
What
had
a week.
You just had a beautiful marital moment. We said, "How are you, Dr. Redlener?" And you said, "I don't know. Let me ask Karen. How am I?" That's fantastic. You're at
That's
that
right.
point where only your spouse.
You know, it's funny that I have to keep asking her. She said the answer is very straightforward. No matter who asks me, no matter where it is or what it is, I'm supposed to say, fine, thank you, and how are you?
Yes. All right.
She is trying to mitigate my tendency to list all the things that are not okay, but, you know, half full, half glass empty. That's what we are.
But can I just say that she is clearly as spectacular as you are. She is your partner in all of this amazing work you do around the world, including in Ukraine. You are heading back to Poland soon, correct?
No, in a week and a half.
Oh, okay, like a week and a half. And speaking of
Yeah.
partners, fantastic partners, Joan Baez is going with you this time.
She is. And, you know, first of all, we're going to be in Poland with her, and we're trying to set up a meeting with a dissident, politically active singer, Russian, who's now in exile because he'll be arrested if he comes anywhere near the border with Russia. And because he's been protesting Putin since at least 2014.
Yeah.
So, you know, Joan Baez was the original political activist and superstar, legendary singer.
Yeah.
And this young man called Noise MC is the same. He's a phenomenal guitar player and singer, very popular in Eastern Europe, and he's very excited to meet Joan and vice versa.
Yeah.
So this ability to use your art to make political statements and speak the truth is something we're in some ways sorely missing. I heard Hillary's statement that you played before just a couple of minutes ago. And, you know, it's going to take really an all society effort to try to quell this cult attachment to Donald Trump. I mean, it's actually frightening that apparently educated people who do have or used to have some sense of right and wrong are falling in lockstep with a psycho, and former president, but a psycho.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it really is. It is I think the story of our time, this sort of profile in cowardice. Let's talk about, because by the way, I just love that because you do such great work, you just, famous singers, like you'd say to Cher, jump, and she says, woo, how high? It's fantastic because you're right. They're able to shine a big spotlight on things. Malcolm Nance was here yesterday, Doc, and you know it's funny. Someone tweeted, "Russia's not our enemy," and Malcolm just tweeted back, "Russia is the world's enemy," and they are right now, and not again the Russian people. Vladimir Putin. I mean, they're the enemy of democracy, and that ought to be the clear-cut moral issue of our time, right?
Yeah, you know it should be, and. The guy feels obviously he was threatened by the advancement eastward of NATO and whatever.
Yeah.
But no matter what any kind of provocation he might concoct is, he will stop at absolutely nothing to make sure that his empire is expanding, that he's protected against real and non-real enemies. And as such, he becomes the enemy of democracy, of freedom, of people seeking their own lives. And, you know, this is something that does have to be stopped. I don't care why he's doing it. He's killing children and innocent civilians in order to advance his aims. And I don't know what you want to call him, but, you know, murderer is fine.
Yeah.
And he's got to be stopped for both the salvation of democracy, but also he's a criminal against humanity.
Yeah.
And he needs to be not just stopped, but arrested.
Yeah.
We're dealing with some really gross problems
And Doc,
in the
speaking of
world right now.
yeah, speaking of crime, we talked about it being Trump arraignment week, and you've said many times, as has Glenn Kirshner, who we just had on, there absolutely could be a negligent homicide case against Trump for COVID. For his COVID response. I don't know what the latest study is that maybe you could tell us about how many excess deaths were caused by his
Yeah,
complete
so actually, I've
incompetence
been
and
writing about this. Yeah, I
malfeasance.
wrote about crimes against humanity and negligent homicide, maybe more than negligent, but anyway, in an op-ed, I think it was in the Washington Post a couple of years ago, and the man is responsible for death and for the associated grieving and disconnection of Americans from science that has allowed his followers to say, Trump is right. I don't need a mask. I think I'd rather just put my life at risk.
Yeah.
And what the hell kind of leadership is that, Steph?
Exhibit A would be
Is
Bob Woodward's interview where he knew it was a highly infectious airborne virus. Didn't
yeah,
tell people on purpose. I mean, and
yeah.
so, I just thought, I want you to listen to this. I thought this was such an interesting exchange. And by the way, liberals, this is how you alpha liberal, what Gavin Newsom just did to Sean Hannity on his own show. But I want you to listen to this in relation to COVID as well and job numbers.
I think his policies are failing. CHIPS Act, Science Act, do you oppose that? I will tell you on every measure from the economy, inflation, borders, energy, national security, he's missing in action.
Let's talk about them in order. Let's talk
hang on.
Wait, but I want to challenge the premise. You said the economy, 13.1 million jobs he's created. More.
These are post-COVID jobs.
Okay.
You know that. That's an artificial number.
No. Then let me stipulate this as an opportunity to engage civilly on this.
Okay.
Fair point. Your president, Donald Trump, lost 2.6 million jobs during his 4 years. We've created 13.1 million. Fine, you can maintain a COVID frame. How about the fact that Joe Biden's created more jobs, 6 times more jobs than the previous 3 Republican presidents combined?
Are you going to tell me?
Send the man an alpha liberal t-shirt. But I mean, isn't that interesting that they try to use COVID as some sort of defense for Trump? And it's like, yes, part of his disastrous response to COVID is what caused all the job loss, along with all the life loss. So for him to say, like, oh, well, those aren't real numbers, to go from losing.
This is, there's no other way to describe this. This is outrageously disconnected from reality. The whole Trump thing, his existence, how he got to be president, his constant lying, you really have this Alice in Wonderland sense that this is completely off base, and it gets repeated. The big lies, plural, get repeated so often that it actually confuses people. Well, I know he keeps saying this, but should I believe him? Well, he just said it again this morning, and it breaks down your ability to distinguish truth from fantasy.
Yeah.
And I think this is one of Trump's areas of expertise, the deceit, the deceiving of the general public who, for God knows what reason, wants to follow him no matter what he says and no matter what he does.
Yeah.
I don't know when this disease of obsession with Donald Trump as a human being is going to end or how it's going to end. But, Steph, too, I keep looking at the data of how many Republicans think he should be president again.
Yeah.
Like this is very complicated.
And the vastly higher number of Republicans that have died of COVID in red counties and counties that voted for Trump. I mean, it shouldn't be like that. There's no doctor in the world like you that is partisan. That's like, oh, good. I'm glad Trump voters are all dying of COVID. I mean, this is what he's left us. Is this, for this, pandemic that's not over, and the next one, Doc, is this anti-science, anti-vax. My girlfriend was just telling me in the right-wing circles, Treat Williams, of course, died from, what do you call it, vaccine reaction.
Of course they're saying
died in a motorcycle accident. Every celebrity that ever dies, it will be, in the anti-vax circles, right?
I think Abraham Lincoln died of COVID.
Yeah.
Yes. It was COVID on that
this
bullet.
Story about John Wilkes Booth, nonsense. But
Nonsense.
a cover-up, damn it. But yeah, so I think This is what's striking to me. I would love to see a survey of the survivors of people who died of COVID and never wore a mask and were Trumpites.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that the majority of their relatives, these people, are going to vote and would vote for Trump again. So there's something deeply psychologically disturbing about the how concrete, how immovable these people are who support him. I think this is going to be studied for a long time.
Yeah.
I really don't get it.
Yeah.
No, Dr. Hazish Jha,
Yes.
the COVID director, he was on PBS News last night, and they asked him about vaccinations, and he said that 90% of the deaths right now are people who are unvaccinated.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. And that's been true for several months now. And there's no let up in that. The people that didn't want to get vaccinated when Trump was president and still don't want to get vaccinated.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain that. And maybe somebody will figure it out. Somebody politically, psychologically
Right.
smarter than I am will come up with some insight.
Well, I don't
But
know
until
anyone
you
smarter than
do-
you are, so we're screwed. All right. Love you, Dr.
Well,
Redlen.
Yeah. Rough time, Steph.
All right.
Bye,
love,
guys.
Love you.
Thanks, Doc.
There he goes. 19 minutes after the hour, this portion of the show. Hi, Malcolm Nance. Happy post-arraignment. How are you?
Oh, Lawsy, I'm sitting here, if you can't see me, fanning my